Hello guys, so welcome back to another video. And previously this is how we've been inserting our data into the SQLite database. We define our countries and then insert multiple, of course using this function right here. We're inserting multiple records into the database and then we are returning this. But for now we're going to learn how you can import. Maybe you have your data in a CSV format and you want to import it into your SQLite database. For I have a very simple countries.csv file here with name, population and the area, and I'm going to show you how you can import it into your CSV file. So first we have to define some placeholder functions here that we're going to use to import it. So the first function we're going to add is a function to read the CSV, read and process CSV file. So I'm just going to call it read CSV, and of course I'm just going to provide the file name. Of course it's going to be a string. And then after doing that, I'm going to return the countries, of course with an error. Okay, so after we have supplied the CSV file name, the first thing we have to do is to open the CSV file, and this is how we're going to do it. Then I'm just going to say os.open. I'm going to open the file name. Okay, opening the file name, I'm going to handle the error. I'm just going to say equal to nil. Then we're going to return nil if there is an error opening this file. After opening that file, we have to defer closing it until we are done processing it. So I'm just going to say defer file dot close. Okay, and then after deferring that, we're going to read the CSV file and then we're going to extract the data from it. So we have to define our reader, and we're going to say CSV dot new reader, and of course we're going to define the file, then we're going to return the records that are coming from that particular file. Of course we have to handle the error as well, and you can just say reader dot read all. Okay, then I'm just going to say if error is not equal to nil. If there is an error, we're just going to return nil. That is because there are no data points. We have to display the error as well. And then after we have read the records, we have to pass the CSV file. Of course, I can define countries here. Then just say models.country, and then now I have to loop through these records. I have to loop through these records. Of course, this is just going to be a record. Then you're going to have records here. Okay, so when you're looping through this, you're going to extract the data and then you're going to feed it into this variable called countries. Okay, so we're just basically processing it. Now since the since population, as we have seen here, we have India population in the area, we have to convert them. Okay, we have to convert them so that you can ensure that there is no conflict, because when you look at our models, we can see population is an integer and this one is an integer and the name is a string. Name is fine. Okay, so we have to convert them. Okay, so just going to use strconv dot atoy. Okay, atoy accepts a string and then it returns an integer. We have to convert the population into an integer because here we are defined it as an integer. So it's going to be record 1. Okay, it's going to be record 1. And then after converting it, we're going to handle the error. Of course, I can just come and copy this. Just go and copy that, and then we're returning the error. Then after returning that, we just go also to get the area. We also have to convert it again, okay, because all of these are integers. So we're just going to copy this. I'm just going to say area, and then it's going to be record 2 based on our countries. Okay, so one population is 1 and the area is 2. Okay, then after converting them into integers, now we can define our country. Okay, remember we're looping through it, so just say models country, and then we're supposed to supply the name. Name of course is going to be record of 0. Then we have population, it's going to be population, and then we have area, it's going to be area. Okay, so now we extracted our country. Then after extracting it, we have to append it to the countries. So countries goes to append countries, and then for each you're going to be appending the country that we have defined here. Then after successfully doing that, we're going to return countries and nil. Okay, so basically we're reading the file. After reading it, we're coming to pass it, and then we are going to process it, and then we're going to map it here into our countries, and then we return it. So now our file is ready to be used here. So for now I don't need this. You can just delete this. Let us read the CSV file. I'm going to say countries, then we have R. I'm just going to say utils dot read CSV. I'm going to supply the name, which is going to be countries dot CSV. Of course, we handle the error. Then we print it if there is one. Okay. Then now these countries, we are reading them. Now we have to insert them. Okay, you can insert them multiple, but in this case I'm just going to insert them one after the other. And I can just say country, then I have countries. Of course here we've read it and we've passed it, and then we're returning countries, of course with the function we've defined. Then we can decide to insert them multiple, like a single country after the other. Of course you can insert in many at once, but in this case I'm just using this. I'm just going to insert to DB when we're getting the country. Okay, then I can just copy this so that if there is an error inserting, I can be able to print it out. Then we break out of that. Okay, now after we have successfully inserted, I just want to read these countries back, and then I display them to ensure that they have all been inserted. So I can just say countries goes to utils dot find all, then I supply the DB, and then in case if there is an error, we're going to print out the error. And then I'm just going to loop through this again. Then here we have a country, because we have countries. And then I'm going to empty.println. I'm going to print the country name. So basically this find all function is already defined. I already defined it here in the previous videos, but just to show you what is happening, you're just selecting all countries, all variables, all the column headers from countries, and then we're returning this. So we can run this function to ensure that it's working as required. And then as you can see, passing invalid syntax. Okay, what am I missing here? Okay, records. Okay, I have to skip the header here. I'm just going to say I have to skip the headers, and then I can just delete this. And also delete this one here. Then I can run this again. Yeah, as you can see now it's working fine. So we have successfully imported this CSV data into our country's database. So guys, that's how you import your CSV file into your SQLite database. See you in the next video.